a 59-year-old Rudy is the quote for the newest Angel Studio release, The Senior, which is out now, playing at select times, but it is officially in theaters. Now, this story is based on a true story of Mike Flynt, who has experienced some things in his life and ultimately comes to the realization that he has 1 year of college football remaining as a super senior in a sense. He's in his 50s. But what you really have here, I think, is a story that is being told with the theatrical basis, but it is a true story nonetheless. Now, going into this movie, it is one of those films that I saw after watching him. And so with him, you have a sadistic football film. But here with The Senior, you have a true story of a man trying to realize his dreams of really finishing what he wanted to do all along. Now, looking at this story from the beginning, knowing that it is a true story, I think that changes the way that I examine a film. Because when you understand the story, and I have read up on it before this film, and looking at some of the other things that you have within it, you have to be cautious about how you look at films and really examine them. Now, with Angel Studios, I think they did a good job of laying the foundation for this movie, and they gave it an opportunity to make sense to a casual member of the audience. But what I don't think this movie does, in a sense, is give you a full, believable understanding of the situation. I think when you're looking at it, we're supposed to believe that every one of his teammates rallied around Mike. Everybody was just cheering him on. They were all on board. And I would be willing to bet that that is not the case. I would be willing to bet that there was real pushback from some of the teammates, whether it is him even being on the team, whether it's playing time, whatever the case may be. But as somebody that has played the game of football, what I can believe in this movie is that there was some camaraderie together. The team was able to join together and hope to make each other better and ultimately see a team success. Now, there will be people that will say, but it's a movie. You're supposed to buy into what is being told. I agree. But with true stories, you have to be very cautious, in my opinion. Now, I think the acting within this movie is done well. I will give it credit. It is believable. The cinematography is pretty good in it. To me, for Angel Studios, that is already going to be a downside for some. But I think they did a good job of the casting, of letting us understand who the characters are. But ultimately, the storytelling within it does flow very well. Now, I will not say that this is one of the better Angel Studio films of the year. I think Sketch is probably towards the very top at number one. And The Last Rodeo, that is another excellent film. But now let's get into rating. I think if you are looking for a movie that is a purely focused football film, this is a good one. I think it does tell the story that a lot of people understand, not even from the age perspective, but more of an understanding of what the mindset of being a football player is. And really understanding that there are risks to the game that ultimately come, no matter if you're 12 or you're 100. There is some type of risk that is asserted with playing the game of football. But then the drawback is I'm still very cautious about looking at the story being told on the screen, even though it flows well, and saying it is an overwhelmingly great story. Because even today, there are a few, I know of one player that is in their late 50s playing college football. He retired from, I believe, an industry of business, had eligibility, and he's now at a D2 or a D3 school. And so for me, as somebody that understands the game, coaches the game, played the game, this is not an advertisement for people in their 40s and 50s to come out to college football or come out to football in general, because there's a lot of U38 leagues that you see and people think that they can still play. But the story, it is a true story. It is an overwhelmingly good story if you look outside of it in a theatrical understanding. But for me, I think The Senior is a 3.5 out of 5. I think it is a heartfelt story. It is something that you can sit down and enjoy. I think from a football aspect, they do a good job, especially with some of the films that have been released. But for me, it's a 3.5. The Senior is a solid movie. It's a good watch, but it makes it even better being a true story. But it is out now. If you have a chance to see it while it is in theaters, I would recommend giving it a watch. Exclude the title and exclude that it is made by Angel Studios. Focus on what is on the screen. So, The Senior, a 3.5. It is out now. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the continued support as I approach 800 subscribers. I am one away. Stay tuned for more reviews coming. I know there is a Mystery Movie Monday tomorrow, and stay tuned for that. So I will talk to you all later.